he has 10 plus years of experience spanning across product marketing, product management, and business development. So he has kindly agreed to conduct this session in his personal capacity. So welcome Abhishek, and let us start with your profile first. If you could request you to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Shivani. I hope everyone can hear me. So, as Shivani mentioned, I did my MBA from HEC Paris. I graduated in 2011. The world has changed quite a bit since then, I'm sure, but I would still try to share as much as I can in my personal capacity. So, I've been working in the internet business for most of my career. Right now, I have founded my own company last year, which is called Google. We're in the travel space. It's a marketplace for travel experts and travelers. So that's what I do right now, besides talking to MBA aspirants like you guys.
Okay, thank you, Abhishek. So just taking you back to your GMAT preparation days, so how did you prepare for GMAT, and any advice for GMAT test takers, what areas they could focus on?
Right. See, there are a couple of things. I mean, different people have different skill sets in as far as GMAT preparation is concerned. But you can, though generalization is not advisable, but I would say to a large extent, most Indians generally seem to be more comfortable with quant than they are with verbal. But the case was opposite for me. Not only was I more comfortable with verbal, I was that is an area that interested me. I even taught verbal for GMAT. And that being said, I think in terms of preparation, really I think there's a propensity to over-prepare for GMAT, wherein you do all the Kaplans of the world and everything, which any sample test that you can get your hand on, you tend to work with it, whether it is quant or whether it is verbal. I think knowing your basics is more than enough. To a large extent, at least for verbal, whatever GMAT recommends is good enough. Jamboree is a great place. I have myself both been a student and taught there, so obviously I think they would summarize it much better for you. My only advice is take a date, fix a deadline and stick to it. Don't make it very charming. I will postpone it by a month or so, or don't do that. If you take a date, go for it, prepare, go all out. You can never feel that you're fully prepared, but trust me, more often than not, even if you give it on day X or day X plus 30, the score would be same. In fact, if you give it on day X, it might be better because you will be under less pressure, and just stick to a deadline and go for it. That's my advice for it.
All right.
But take a test date first and then start preparing.
Sure. So, why did you decide to pursue an MBA, and why did you choose France as a destination to pursue a higher education?
Me, a couple of factors. One is obviously in my career post pre MBA from HEC. One of the major factors that I felt that was as a cliche thing, what people will say is that I had no international exposure. Right, the world was limited to my experience in India, and obviously I wanted a career change.
Right. So, can you also throw some light on the life at HEC Paris and your experience with the business school? Why and how HEC Paris?
Like I mentioned, life at HEC Paris is amazing. And we had close to around, it has the most diverse mix of students in terms of the international mix, 85% international. I don't think the best of business schools in any part of the world has that kind of a mix, right? We had Japanese, Chinese, Indians, Canadians, Nigerians, Latin Americans, right? The mix was huge, and not only in terms of nationalities, also in terms of their work experience, their educational background, right? The kind of diversity that HEC had, not only for our batch but also for previous batches, and the trend has continued, was very great. And that was one of the factors that attracted me to HEC Paris. Besides that, they do a lot of stuff which I felt a lot of other European business schools could learn from. For example, they had this MBA tournament, right? MBA tournament was basically like Olympics of the schools in Europe, and they were trying to extend it to US as well. But all the top business schools in Europe, that is, came and they participated in a 15-day long event where we had cricket, football, rugby, athletics. It was like an Olympics, right? And the current batch of MBA, we organized everything from logistics to marketing the event to executing it. Everything was managed by us, right? So that is a unique experience. We had multiple cultural weeks, for example, the Japanese week, the Chinese week, the Africa week, India week, when we hosted, or every particular group hosted their own kind of cultural events, and that attracted a lot of participants from not only from our college but also from outside our college. We had something called training with the French army, which we did over a weekend. Right? Every batch does it, and it's living like training like the French army. We would train over a period of 2 days. We went to a place called Francia, and that was just just building a bridge, small bridge over a kind of canal, those kind of experiences, and then basically floating across and getting on the other side of the river, planning all of that with the team, getting together, all those kind of experiences were like something that you would remember throughout your life. Not only that, we had something like Sustainable Business Conference where the likes of Mohammed Yunus used to come. All the top CEOs would come during our leadership seminars. I had the opportunity to talk to face with a lot of them, and those are like surreal experiences which really, I mean, I don't think I haven't seen any other school offer. So, I mean, for a mix of all of this, the diversity, the kind of exposure you get, not only academically, and most of the professors have written books in financial accounting, strategy, not only from the point of view of academics, but also in terms of overall experience that you mix with a really, really talented bunch of individuals from all over the world. The thought process are different, the way they look at work is different, the way they approach life is different. You live with them, in the same building, you interact with them daily. It's an exposure which really I don't think I will ever forget in my life, and that is something that you could also gain on. And for me, I have a friend in every part of the world, and that is probably the best thing that I gained out of the program. That is, I have a strong alumni network all across. I can just write to anyone in any part of the world and go. So that's for me. So that's been my life, and that's been my experience.
Right, right. So Abhishek, I'm sure you must have you had some goals in mind when you entered the program. So did HEC help you achieve your goals, and how good is the career services? how do they help students get a job in after graduation?
Right, there are a couple of things that one of
Abhishek, your
misunderstand
yeah.
going for an MBA, what the concept was that is there, which is there in India, was exists in Europe. Right? It's very different. In India, you are for MBA schools in a phase 0, day 1, day 2, etc. So there's no concept like that. Organizations like Amazon, Schneider Electric, Lafarge, L'Oreal, they would come to campus, they would mix with students will exchange business cards, and they will network with them, they will do summer touches, and eventually it is when the onus is on all the students, all the MBA participants who are given a platform to interact with this organization, and then eventually they find a way to convert their, all the kind of meetings they have, their internships they have into final placement package. So that is how it works all over Europe. It's unlike India, right? And as far as my career goals are concerned, sure, the career change part definitely has happened. I was in sales before I moved, and then I moved into product management after I came back, and now I'm running my own company. Right. So, and as far as the career change part is definitely something which I wanted and which I've achieved out of the program.
Right. Okay. So just taking you back again up to your batch, I'm sure there were some Indian students as well. So what kind of challenges or support can Indian candidates expect? And if you remember something about their background and where in which sectors did they end up getting a job? Sectors or geographies, if you can talk a little bit about that.
Right. Right. So, see, one major challenge for and it's not necessarily always true. I can give you examples. Is the language one. Right? Of course, French. If you are proficient in French language, it really helps your cause to get a job in France. Right. That being said, I know someone who is
Right. So knowing French is kind of an add-on and it definitely benefits you, especially if you're looking for client-facing roles, vis-a-vis the industry roles.
Yes. There are exceptions, though, as I mentioned, there are exceptions to the rule. But yeah, I mean, if you are in a role where you are facing no French,
Right.
then
Okay.
knowing French definitely.
Right. Okay. So does it also kind of benefit people in the admission process? Like, do they prefer people having known French as a language?
I wouldn't be able to comment on that, to be honest. Whether I mean,
Okay.
they prefer candidates who know French. But yes, at least those who have kind of started learning French will definitely be useful. I can, I mean, in my, like among the Indians in my batch, only a couple of them were probably proficient in French out of, say, 20 odd participants. So by that ratio, I don't think that really is a huge factor in terms of, but your interest in learning the language is definitely there.
Right.
And if that, especially if in your application you have mentioned your career goal as something which requires French as a language. So
Right.
then definitely your having being proficient in French will be very useful, or at least your active interest in learning the French language will be very useful.
Right. So, just coming to the cost part of it. So, what would be the average cost of living in Paris or France, so to say? And in terms of financial aid, scholarships, what can students do to get maximum financial aid or scholarships from HEC?
So if you look at the go to the website, so there are a lot of programs that besides the college, even brands like L'Oreal and others offer as sponsor, as kind of sponsorship of a part of your fees. You really need to kind of be the first mover there. I mean, as soon as you get an admit, you have to kind of go and apply for it. Especially for women candidates with a decent score. I mean, there is something about, I mean, I'm forgetting the term for it. There is a program which offers scholarships to them, right? So there are multiple organizations that also offer scholarships. So the scholarship part, but you have to be really, for it at the earliest possible because they get taken up very fast. So as soon as you get an admit, you immediately your goal should be to apply for the scholarship and not miss out on that first.
Right. So, what? So
Did I
just
answer?
yeah, and the average cost of living. What would be the average cost of living in
Yeah,
Paris?
that part. So look, again, from 2011 the world has changed, but I can just give you a rough estimate. I mean, just in terms of your accommodation, it would cost anywhere between 500 to 700 euros just for your accommodation per month, right? That was when you are living in the campus. Everything, the food within the campus was very was quite subsidized, right? To a great extent, it's I mean, outside of what is offered in the campus, it was expensive, but within the campus, food was really good quality food and it was subsidized. So I think overall, you can a fair estimate would be if you live conservatively, that is, you're not heading out to Paris every weekend, party and all of that. If you live conservatively, you can manage within like 1,000 euros per month. So fairly that will be a fairly decent investment.
Right. So, just coming on to what does HEC Paris look for in an applicant? So, if you could name, say, top three qualities which HEC Paris looks for in an applicant.
Like I said, I can tell you the qualities that my fellow participants have. I'm not sure if I can speak for the MBA program, but I can tell you what definitely my fellow MBA participants have. One is obviously they are looking for diversity, right? And more in terms not only related, if you have had any, you can highlight. What is needed is for all of you to be true to your own, application. Don't try to be very cliche, right? I mean, a lot of applications come ki I have worked in an NGO, and I think that some people feel that that eventually add to their application, and it does. But if it's a fake experience, it will not work, right? HEC does appreciate it. We had a program which is across multiple colleges all over the world called Net Impact, right? Which did have a lot of us who worked with, who had a bit of a background to, offer to be a part of that club. And there are multiple clubs. So how you will add to the class participation? What kind of how your career path is different, right? So for example, if anything which you find unique in your career path, you should highlight that, whether in your career or even for that matter in your personal life. Anything that you have done outside of your professional life, which is unique, you should highlight that. I mean, so we had people who had climbed the Mount Everest. We had people who were, runners, like very professional. Really well. We had people who were good at mental mathematics. We had people who could dance very well, sing very well. So whichever aspect of your life beyond your work also is great, or something you feel will, don't be shy in talking about it. So that is something which will help.
Right. So I think we will now open the floor for Q&A. So anyone who has any questions can please type in your questions, and we'll be able to take those questions. So meanwhile, what was the batch size, Abhishek, at your time, and how many Indians were there?
So there are roughly 240 MBA participants and 2 intakes. So one is September intake and one is January. And I don't know what is the scenario right now. I think it's similar only. But one has to check for that. The part up to 170 students, which had around 25 Indians out of 160. Right? And similarly, they have 25 North Africans, 20 Chinese, and like that. And rest were Nigerians, your Latin Americans, a whole lot of mix. The January intake had roughly around 10. So I think both batches put together out of 240, 30 to 35 Indians out of 240.
Right. So I'm sure it is a very competitive school to get into, since it has only. Yeah. Okay. So Pallavi has a question around second round deadlines. So she's saying that does the chances of scholarship get reduced in the second round if she applies in the second round? So Abhishek, can you hear my question? Okay, Abhishek, can you hear me?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. So yes, okay. So Pallavi is asking about round 2 deadlines. So
now I can hear.
Yeah. So Pallavi is asking about round 2 deadlines. She's saying that does the chances of scholarship reduce if one applies in round 2?
See, the thing is, again, I can answer it, but I could be wrong. So I really don't have an answer for that. I think as soon as you get an application, immediately start the application. So I don't think I can answer that question.
Right. So from most forums that we hear the AdCom guys speaking, so they say that round one or round two, it doesn't matter really. Okay, but round one they have more scholarship, more seats available. So if you can get in your application in round one, great. But see to it that your application is complete and it is the best
Yes.
application that you are putting in. So Pallavi, I think that
Yes.
answers your question. Sagar has a question around.
That's what makes sense. Like I
Yeah,
said, again I lost you. Hello.
yeah, Abhishek, we can hear you.
And what was the second question you said? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so Sagar is asking a question that is HEC Paris known for particular streams such as marketing, finance, or consulting?
Yes, it is in fact known a lot for marketing uh, and marketing and finance, and lesser for consulting. But yes, we have, even in consulting we have brands like this, AT Kearney, BCG, etc. that have come and Bain, etc. that have they were HEC alumnus, and alumni for that matter are working. So it's not primarily for marketing and finance.
Right.
Consulting to a lesser extent, but yes, there are people who are working in consulting.
Okay. So next question is from Abhishek. He is saying that is it a good place for healthcare sector if he is looking for healthcare related jobs after an MBA?
I have so one way of answering this question, Shivani, whether it was for marketing, finance, and consulting, or whether it is for healthcare, and that is how I figured it out. Go on to LinkedIn and do a search. I can talk about my batch, right? I cannot approximate over multiple MBA programs. Go on LinkedIn and search for how many people are working in the companies or organizations that you want to work in post your MBA, right? From HEC. So that will give you a fair idea. Right? For example, if you are looking at working at say the Schneider in energy sector, so this is a great place, right? HEC is great in energy sector. We have lots and lots of alumni who are there. If you want to work in the likes of L'Oreal, I mean, it's full of HEC MBA participants in luxury. They're full of HEC MBA participants. If you want to work in the likes of Amazon, again, internet business is full of HEC MBA alumni. So these are kind of industries and companies where a lot of my colleagues from my batch are also working, and similarly from the previous batches and the following batches. So and consulting, you would have the kinds of AT Kearney, Bain, etc. also there they work. So that's probably how you can answer it. Healthcare sector, to my mind, I mean, if you ask where they are working, I know a couple of them who are working in healthcare, but whether it's overall it's a good place for healthcare sector, I will not be able to answer.
Sure. Okay. So Mia is asking that if you move with your spouses, do they face any major challenges? I'm sure. So
No, actually, so one unique thing about HEC is that there is something called CAP, CAF, Casse Allocation Familiar, wherein you get a kind of a stipend per month from the government of France for your living expense. The spouses will also get it, and every participant will also get it, right? And to some extent, there is a little bit of relief in terms of your living expense. Also, the spouses become great friends with the rest of the batch. So really, I mean, in terms of their daily life, it's not a big problem for the spouses. They participate in the cultural programs and they do everything along with them. In a way, they're looked upon as a fellow MBA participant. They do not face challenges, whether it's a male spouse or a female spouse. Both of them have tons of things to do there. So I'm sure they can easily absorb into the MBA program with
Right,
their
right.
spouse.
So Debrati is asking about candidates with 30 plus years of age. So I think that is pretty common. But do they also encourage people with 10, 12 plus years of experience to apply, or is it more for people with say 3 to 5, 3 to 7 years of experience?
Okay, this is something, age has nothing to do with it, to be honest. What actually matters is which stage of career you are in, right? Someone can be 40 and could be at the middle management level, and somebody can be a 30-year-old and could be a CEO or a CFO, right? Or a VP level, top level management, right? So someone at a top level management, it really doesn't make sense for them to do an MBA program, because what is the opportunity cost? The opportunity cost is very high, right? In the period that they will do the MBA, they will lose out on a lot of money they could have earned at that point, and when they move out of the program, they really do not add much in terms of besides from education, they really don't add much in terms of the career prospects. So in those cases, they mostly get recommended for the executive MBA, which is for people who are in a top level management kind of bracket, right? But yeah, if you're in a middle management level, aspiring to have a career change and then also to grow in your career, that is what matters. So those are the kind of people, and where there is potential, they get absorbed. So really, age is not the point. The point is which stage of career you are in, and number of years of experience is also not a see. Obviously, you need minimum 3 to 5 years of experience. 3 years of experience minimum. If I remember it correctly, you know that it's become very difficult to get into the program. More than 3 years is definitely, but even if it is 10, 12, and your quality of experience is not as great as someone with 5 to 6 years of good quality experience, they would basically be at par. So that is how it is considered.
Right. So next, Vishwakriti has a question, and what would be the average GMAT score, if you have an idea on what would be the competitive GMAT score for HEC to apply?
Okay. So what is so in our time it was 700. I don't know what it is right now. I think if I am not wrong, it is close to 700 only. So uh, yeah,
Sure.
GMAT score is close to 700.
Okay. Sure.
690, I think. 690 is the score. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Average, which is we have people with 750 and there are people with 650, but average is 690.
Right. So besides the GMAT score, it's probably the profile that matters the most and how you have portrayed that profile in the
Yes,
application.
yes. The profile matters a lot. I mean, besides your GMAT score, you get interviewed by 2 HEC alumni as well. Uh, and their feedback matters a lot. If they feel that you're just a plain kind of normal, you won't add much value to the program. Your personality, what you do besides your professional life, everything matters. Your application matters a lot. Your application matters. People with 610 get in, people with 750 don't get in. So it really matters how you uh, put in your application and how you're introduced.
Right. So Chaitanya is asking about any loans which are available. Would you have any idea on what kind of loan students can take once they get a admit from HEC?
I mean, I took a loan in India. So the rate of interest for the loan in India is quite high, education. There is a scope of taking loan in France itself, but that is very difficult. Their rate of this is much, much lesser. Right? I know a couple of MBA participants who did take a loan in France. It was difficult, but the rate of interest is. You get a loan from State Bank of India in India if you want to once you get an actor.
Right. So Akash is asking about how much score does he need in 10th, 12th and graduation to apply. So Akash, I don't think they have a fixed cutoff kind of a thing. Mostly your graduation score will be looked at, and that combined with your GMAT. So most European colleges prefer a 3 GPA plus or a B plus, but it is going to be looked at in combination with your GMAT and your overall profile, so they don't have a cutoff, so to say.
Also, the other part has this actual Shivani. See, the score Shivani rightly said doesn't matter. But if you feel that your 10th, 12th graduation scores are low, that may be seen by those who are screening the application. But there's actually some good score. Maybe you've had a good GMAT to compensate that. And in the essay, there is a question where they ask whether they want to add anything. There you would want to justify why your scores were low. It could be as candid as saying that, well, I was not serious about life. When I was in 10th or 12th or in graduation. And now that I've had some work experience, I understand the value of academics, and that's where I have gotten a good score in GMAT. So you really, you would, if you feel that the scores are just too low in 10th, 12th and graduation, there's a way for you to compensate that with GMAT and while you're making your application.
Right. So Choi is asking about the work visas post MBA in Europe. So how much time really does one have to find a job?
Right. It is. You get a work permit basically during the program. I think after your graduation. So, for example, your program really ends in 16 months, right? But you graduate somewhere close to in a May of a. So if you graduate in December, you graduate in May. So from the date of your graduation, you have basically 6 more months. This is what during my period. This is how it works. You have 6 more months to look for a job. So if you get a job in that period, great. You get a job and you move on. Stay back in France, or you go to Luxembourg, you go to Netherlands, you go to any other country. So that is how it works.
Right. Okay. So Kashiv is asking when should you start your application process if you're looking for September intake. So Kashiv, I think you have to get together all the components of your application, work on GMAT, work on essays, LOR, CV, everything that is needed for the application. So it depends on you how much time you are able to give to each part of application. But normally people take 2 to 3 months to do their applications. Besides taking the GMAT. So, okay. So, Param has a question on what are the chances for getting into the program without an undergrad degree. So, Param, I think they do need an undergrad degree. You need to have an undergrad degree, irrespective of the score that you are getting. This would be a requirement. Okay. So Kedar is saying, did CMC, the career services, help you with internship, or did you have to write to alumni to land up an internship?
I think I've answered that question. So CMC, what they do is they get all the documents there, right? From the likes of Schneider to Amazon to Lafarge to L'Oreal to any brand you name, the big brands that you see, all of them have come to the campus. All of them, not a single brand which you wouldn't know has not come. All of them come to the campus. Every MBA participant gets to interact with the HR organizations of those companies, and then if you're interested, obviously the CMC will give out help you in writing to them or connecting with them, but you would have to basically then do the work. CMC does definitely facilitates that. Yes.
Okay. So Siddharth is saying, what is the strength of HEC alumni network in India and how can we connect to them?
So HSC alumni network is quite big now. We again, the strength of the alumni network is basically judged by where they are in their career after their MBA in India and how they are faring. So if you look at the KPMGs, the Deloittes, or the other big brands in consulting, they are all working in India here itself in Gurgaon, and we saw Gurgaon. They are working in those brands. We get to meet them quite often. Once every quarter, we have this alumni get together where we meet each other. A lot of them have gone into entrepreneurship and started successful companies. I mean, one of them recently got featured by the Malaysian government for doing something really awesome in AI. So the alumni is quite strong. They're quite open. If you want to interact with them, it's not very difficult. I mean, if you want to interact with them before you know your MBA, the best way is to connect through LinkedIn or connect to someone you know if you want some insights.
Right. So Akansha has a question around the number of internships. So I guess there's one internship, but do students also have an opportunity to do an internship during holidays or some part-time work during the
Yeah.
program?
Yes. So you have two opportunities to do internship. The first one will be between your core and your or the specialization that you choose. And then after you graduate, you can do a CCP, another internship after the program ends, until the time you graduate, or you are there in France, you can do another one. I did that. I did a couple of internships. There is a brief holiday, July to August. You can do an internship then also. You can continue your internship then. There is no problem. You will have the work permit to do that.
Okay. So Siddharth has a
And the
question. Yeah.
idea is to convert it basically. Any internship that you take, the idea should be converted. The day one, the goal of those who have successfully got it placed in France or in Europe or in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, are the ones who, from the very first day, networked, and on the very first day got placed, were sure that this is where they want to work, and they followed it up rigorously. So that is how you would need it. Sorry, Shivani, you were
Yeah,
asking.
right. So Siddharth has a question around internship opportunities. If you go for, or job opportunities in general, if you go for September intake or January intake, is there any difference in the on how firms prefer to recruit?
No, there is no difference. I mean, uh, both are equally good. Yeah, the batch size is bigger. During the September batch is usually bigger than the January batch, but there is no difference.
Okay. So Niladri has a question. Does HEC have an exchange program?
Yes, they have a lot of exchange programs with the likes of Wharton, Kellogg, London Business. There is a dual degree program as well with the likes of London Business Schools and all. So every college that you want to do, whether it's Wharton, whether it's Kellogg, you name them, they have an exchange program. So a lot of my fellow MBA participants, so there is this final term where they did, which they did in Wharton, Kellogg, MBAs. So the
Sure,
exchange programs are really good. It's really good.
sure. So Chaitanya has a general question around job placements. So once the course is over, so would you have any idea on what percentage of batch was placed and the average salaries they could draw? Yeah, Abhishek? Yeah, Abhishek, can you hear me? Yeah, Abhishek, can you hear me?
All of us, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. So Chaitanya's
Okay, the
question.
question was
Yeah.
about placement. The job placement is pretty, in our batch was pretty good. So there are those who get placed as before the program gets over. So for the September intake, the program gets over in the following December, right? So there were those who got placed before that, and there are those who got placed within 2 months of passing out. So in terms of the packages, it really depends. I mean, those who are working with 80 currently, we're getting somewhere close to 90,000 euros per annum. There are those who are working with, anywhere between 80,000 to 1,20,000 euros per annum is something which I am aware that people will try. But these are like numbers from my colleagues uh, who I did MBA with. So this may not be the official number, but these are the numbers of colleagues I work with. So
Right. So Chaitanya has also shared his profile. He's coming from design background and he used to work for Cartoon Network Abu Dhabi. So and he is planning to do his masters. So any advice, and is it a good? Will it be an advantage to go into a masters program?
oh yes, oh yes. Like I said, initially when I was talking about it, that is actually the kind of diversity that will really add to your application. We had people from the army who joined us in the program, right? We had two army majors who were there with us. We were from merchant navy, not only Indian army, French army also. Merchant musicians. You're as diverse your background. It's very good. It is actually a very good addition to your application.
Right. So I think we'll take one more question before we wind up for today. So Akansha has asked a question: which a few companies recruiting from HEC, which they were able to convert the internship into a job. So can you name a few companies?
Well, Schneider Electric was one big example. I think someone asked a question about industry and energy. Those two segments, a lot of internships were converted. L'Oreal, Amazon, uh, these are brands. Lafarge, these are four prominent names where internships converted, and they did hire a lot of MBA participants, and in fact, a lot of Indian MBA participants. Amazon has a lot of Indian MBA participants. Schneider has a lot of Indian MBA participants. L'Oreal has, Lafarge has. So these are few names that are top of my mind.
Sure. So Divya has this question on working part-time along with pursuing your MBA. So considering it is a very
You won't get
rigorous
time.
program, so I think you would be able to better
You won't.
answer.
You won't get the time to do that.
Right,
First,
right.
unless you compromise on your, and really it's not something that you should do because anyways you will get time, two opportunities during a program to work on an internship. Uh, but really during the MBA program, it is going to be very.
Right. So Niladri, your question about expense, I think you can go to the HEC website to check their fees, etc. And the living cost he has already answered. It's going to be 1,000. You can manage in 1,000 euros per month if you are living conservatively. So I think we are done with the questions today. So thank you very much, Abhishek, for doing this for us. It was